In this video, we'll be looking at the stat and gauge panels in Grafana to visualize data. Now, these panels are used for single values. So a gauge like this, or a stat panel like this, just shows one value that you want to really take the attention to. They use an aggregation in the panel. So even if your source data doesn't have an aggregation, there will be an aggregation made. For example, the last value, the average value, the maximum value, depends on what you need. Using threshold colors and labels, you can then make this even more visual and, for example, control how much this gauge is filled up with thresholds. Let's have a look. So I have this panel here, which is a stat panel. So you just pick stat here. And then this query results in multiple values. And we take the last value of this. By default, this filters on numeric fields. So if your data is a string, then you'll have to select all fields or select your specific field that you want to visualize. Other than that, there's some modes. So you can base the color on the value. You can also fill the background with whatever color you have. You can have different modes for the text. So you can also print the name of the measurement or just do whatever the automatic choice is. And then for thresholds, for example, you can make this go red starting at 2, and then maybe yellow starting at 3, for example. Let me have a look if I can manipulate this data somehow. So for example, if I take the first value instead, and this is 2, let's adjust this a little bit to 2.1. So for now it's red, and then with this value and the last value should change to a different color. All right, that's the stat panel. Let's switch this one to a gauge, and we'll have basically the same. So you'll see that you have green, red, and followed by yellow. So let's see what happens if I take the maximum value here. It's probably higher than the current one. Indeed, it is 2.2, which is above the 2.1 threshold, and as such, the color changes to yellow, and the gauge fills up. So in this way, you can build a gauge and see how high a certain value is based on the known minimum and maximum thresholds that apply to this input.